Konnichiwa, my otakus, I'm the Gaming Otaku, and welcome to our very first recap God Guide. This will be reviews on gods I've already done God Guides on, and kind of refreshing for new meta. So Izanami, I did a God Guide on when she first came out, and haven't done one since. And with the new buffs and all that, I think it's appropriate to give her some more love. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Izanami's passive is Death Draws Nigh. Izanami gains 4% penetration for every 15% of her health missing. Izanami's first ability is Sickle Storm. In this ability, Izanami's basics no longer come back. Izanami also gains a damage and attack speed buff for the duration of the ability. Izanami's second ability is Spectral Projection. This is a line ability that does damage and slows all enemies hit. Izanami's third ability is Fade Away. This is a leap ability that makes Izanami invisible for a maximum of 6 seconds. If Izanami takes damage or uses an ability or fires a basic attack, she will be removed from her invisibility. Izanami's ultimate is Dark Portal. This is an AoE ability that does damage and silences all enemies hit. Izanami's combos, there really aren't any. I guess like there is kind of one in particular. I would just kind of recommend, you know, if you're invisible, you know, just kind of hit them with the slow and then just fuck them up. But like, yeah, again, Izanami really doesn't have any combos. If the best thing I could recommend to you is use the slow if you want to try and secure basics or even secure the ult. The slow is pretty freaking significant. So yeah, sorry, there's no combo. So we're gonna just jump on over to the pros and cons. Alright, so Izanami has a lot of pros and very few cons due to the fact that she did get buffed pretty recently, but her pros are the fact that she has a lot of damage, pretty much high damage, but this is pretty much single target damage. Izanami is one of those hunters that will focus one guy, kill him, and then move on to the next one. There's really not too much team fight since she doesn't have a lot of AoE. Her ultimate is super helpful in team fights, but it's just kind of, that's it. She's got nothing else going for her in team fights. Then she has her invisibility. It's a pretty long invisibility of 6 seconds, and due to the fact that she has been buffed recently, it takes half the time to get into it than it used to. She has really good wave clear with her basics going through minions and hitting more minions, but also her 2 hits like a brick wall come level 2. And then she is a really good boxer. As I previously mentioned, she is probably one of the better boxers out of the hunters because she has a lot of single target damage. She gets bonus damage and attack speed buff from her 1, and then she has her 2 that hits like a brick wall and it slows. And then that brings me into the slow and the silence. She has a slow on her 2, which helps her move into other stuff. If you can't land basics very well, it would also be really good to land the slow and then hit them with the basics, as I mentioned in the combos previously. And then the silence is just really good in case they have mobility or something. Silence them, try and kill them before that silence wears down. And then the only cons I could think of was she has very slow autos. Pretty much you throw an auto and you wait quite a bit for it to come back. So it just kind of causes a very slow projectile. And obviously she has her 1 to counter this con, but obviously it's not up all the time. But then she has very little CC because she does have the slow, she does have the silence, but she doesn't have any super hard CC. I realize a silence is considered hard CC, but she doesn't have a stun or anything. So that does kind of go against her. But she has really high cooldowns. Her dash is 20 seconds on the first level, and that is one of the highest dash cooldowns in the game, for hunters at least. And yeah, so she has some of the highest cooldowns for the hunters. But that is it for the pros and cons, and we're going to jump on over to the order in which to level the abilities. And all I can say about this one is you're pretty much just going to want to go straight into your 2. If you are playing Conquest, I would recommend getting the 2 first. As I mentioned, it is really good wave clear, and then go into the 1 and then the 3 and the ultimate. But that's pretty much it. You just max your 2 out first, then your 1. I know some people max the 1 out first just because the attack speed buff, but in my opinion, I would recommend the 2. You don't have to. It's perfectly fine if you don't. Just don't max the 3 first. It's probably the worst option out of all of them. So yeah, anyways, we're going to jump on over to the build. Alright, so we're going to jump on over to the build, and just like any video, I'm going to mention that this is just a recommendation for anybody looking to learn how to play Izanami. This is not a you must build. This is a recommendation that I'm hoping newbies will take and form it into their own playstyle, what works for them. So we are gonna just kind of, yeah, jump right into it. So warrior tabby or attack speed boots. I personally don't like attack speed boots. I think it's pretty much bad on every hunter except X-Bal. But again, if you want to build warrior tabby, ninja tabby, go right ahead. By the way, for conquest, you would build Boombas and Death Toll. That's just kind of the thing right now, and then pots and yada yada yada. Dev's Gauntlets is really strong right now with the lifesteal and the power. Also, it's just really good on Izanami. So yeah, then Executioner. Just because self-explanatory, Executioner is just really good for the attack speed and the penetration. And then I go Rage. You can swap this out for Wind Demon down here. It's fine. I every now and then will switch them. Rage is just really nice, but it is also kind of a risk. It's really shit until you get all the stacks. So it's kind of a risk because you gotta hope that you'll be able to get all the stacks. Granted, it's only 5 and it counts for assists as well. Then I jump into Kins to shred anybody with a lot of health, aka the tanks or people building warlocks. And then Deathbringer, because that's self-explanatory. If you're building crits, you're gonna definitely want to build Deathbringer because of its passive. It's 40%. We're going to jump on over to, I guess, the situational items. Bloodforge is really nice. If you don't want to build devs, you could build Bloodforge or even Aussie. Both amazing lifesteal items. Bloodforge with a shit ton of power, and then also that passive. Again, Wind Demon, because of the passive, it gives crit, gives attack speed, gives power. It's just a really good crit item. This one's kind of like an iffy. Transcendence, if you feel like you just want a bunch of mana and you want to hit like a brick wall, Transcendence is also a decent item. I don't have it here, but Titan's Bane, I know the Eggsy Bane thing is kind of really popular, or is kind of like 50-50 popular, where either 50% is going to pick it up or 50 don't. It's fine. But yeah, so Titan's Bane is also a decent pick. Again, just kind of swap out whatever you want. So that is it. If I missed any items or you just kind of want to critique my build or mention down below your build, that is fine. So anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to leave a like and or subscribe for your senpai. I hope this guide was helpful for anyone wanting to learn Izanami, and comment below what god I should do next, and I'll see you bro takus in the next video. See ya!